The time is 10 a.m. and this is WKYT Midmorning. A man accused of killing a Richmond police officer goes before a judge. We're there right now to find out why.
A Kentucky House candidate stands by his decision to post controversial pictures on Facebook.
And neither snow, nor rain, nor heat, nor gloom of night it keeps these Big Blue fans from reaching the end of the line, and they are just about there.
This is WKYT Midmorning.
Good morning and welcome to Midmorning here on your Friday. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. Glad you're along with us. Glad it's a Friday, too.
That as well, and the weekend is almost here. We do want to get a check on weather. A lot of folks have plans, you know.
And meteorologist Micah Harris has headed outside. He's live in the WKYT Weather Garden with an early check of the forecast. Micah, it looks like a gorgeous day behind you.
It's actually... yeah, I mean, it's really nice out here. It's not all that bad. It's a little on the cool side, don't get me wrong, but obviously it's a beautiful day right now. Now, we do have some showers back toward the west, and that is going to give us the opportunity to have, you know, just a little rain in the forecast. Remember, today is not a good chance of rain, and you're seeing that on Defender Radar Network back toward the west. And you zoom down in toward the western zones, that's where we're going to be holding on to, looking for some of that rain, especially Marion County, Taylor County. Springfield, heads up. I know we do have the Sorghum Festival today. That does kick off, and unfortunately you guys actually do have a chance of rain over toward the west. That is your best chance. Look at the temperatures. Pretty cool out there. You got to remember, typically this time of year we're in the mid-70s. We're not going to be anywhere near that, about 10 degrees below that. You'll see that on your forecast as we travel in towards your afternoon. So the smaller chance of rain today, but we're looking at those temperatures there in the mid-60s. So all in all, it's not a bad day in store. We're going to talk about Friday night football, who has the chance of rain, and also the weekend forecast. And we'll have that coming up because we have a lot of big events outside and a lot of plans too. I'll show you that forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Micah, and we'll see you. And it sure looks nice out there right now, doesn't
yes.
it? WKYT has a news crew in Madison County in a courtroom this hour where a man accused of killing a Richmond police officer is facing a judge.
Raleigh Sizemore is charged with murder. Last November, police say Sizemore shot and killed Officer Daniel Ellis during an ambush at a Richmond home. We don't know what's expected to happen in court today, but we have a reporter in the courtroom. Gregory, the man accused of leading Officer Ellis into the ambush, is also in court today. We'll have a full report coming up on WKYT News at noon. A Kentucky state trooper will be laid to rest this morning. Investigators say 24-year-old trooper Mason Flynn died Monday after falling through a barn roof and hitting his head. He was off duty at the time. Flynn was a 2-year veteran of the Kentucky State Police. His funeral is at 11 this morning at the Center for Rural Development in Somerset.
New here at Midmorning, the Republican Party of Kentucky is apologizing for a state house candidate's shocking Facebook page. Dan Johnson is a Republican challenging the Democratic incumbent in the 49th district over in the Bullitt County area. Pictures of a chimpanzee labeled as a baby picture of President Obama was either posted or shared by Johnson. Another picture has ape-like features photoshopped onto Mr. and Mrs. Obama. When pressed, Johnson would not say the images were inappropriate. He calls it satire.
I looked this up. There's been no president that hasn't had that scrutiny, not one. I think it would be a racist not to do the same for President Obama as we've done for every other president.
The chairman of the Republican Party of Kentucky has released a statement. It says, in part, I want to apologize to the members of Kentucky's African-American community and assure them that this man's opinions do not reflect those of this party.
The state is keeping a close eye on a Lexington daycare after an investigation found multiple violations. Included was a game called Snack for a Smack. The state's report on New Creation Child Care on Industry Road says 2 male staffers would not give children a yogurt snack unless the kids agreed to be hit with a stick. Daycare employee Jamar Hall was eventually cited for assault. He was also fired. We have details about other violations found by the state on WKYT.com.
Danville police are asking for the public's help this morning in finding a missing woman. They say Desiree Sparks disappeared Tuesday. She was seen leaving the area of Citation Drive in Danville. And police think Sparks was with a man who might have been driving a dark-colored SUV. Lexington police looking for a woman accused of using counterfeit money. They say she used fake $5, $10, and $20 bills at Meijer and Walmart stores around Lexington. Police say she later returned the things that she bought with the fake money in exchange for real cash. You can text a tip to Lexington Police. Start your message with Lex PD and send it to crimes or 274637, and you could get a reward for your information.
The NTSB says it will be in New Jersey for at least a week to investigate yesterday's deadly train crash. Officials say the train was going fast when it slammed into the Hoboken terminal. Karen Kafa is there now with the latest.
Investigators are searching for answers into why New Jersey Transit train 1614 never slowed down before crashing into the Hoboken terminal at 8:45 a.m. Thursday morning. The crash killed one woman waiting on the platform and injured more than 100 others. The NTSB believes some clues could be found in the train's 2 event recorders, one of which was pulled last night. But it will take some time to recover the second one.
Right now, it's a very unsafe situation. There's a canopy that is resting on top of the train. Once that's removed, we'll be able to look more closely at this train.
The NTSB is looking into all possible factors that could have led to the crash.
We are looking into every aspect of it. So we like to say we look at the man, the machine, and the environment.
Commuters who survived and witnessed the crash described the chaotic scene.
At the end of every track is a bumper, a steel bumper. It went right through the bumper and right on top of the platform.
There was just this impact, and it sounded like an explosion, and we were stunned.
The speed seemed normal, but as we got closer, I didn't really realize it at the time, but it did not slow down at all.
The engineer of the train has been identified as 48-year-old Thomas Gallagher, an employee of New Jersey Transit for 29 years. Gallagher was treated for his injuries and released from a local hospital. New Jersey's governor says he is cooperating with investigators. In Hoboken, New Jersey, I'm Karen Kafa.
New Jersey Transit service remains suspended indefinitely in and out of the terminal this morning. The NTSB says contractors have to remove debris from the top of the train before investigators can enter certain passenger cars. CBS News confirms federal investigators have recovered the data recorder at the rear of the train.
Former Israeli President Shimon Perez was laid to rest this morning. World leaders, including President Obama and former President Bill Clinton, attended the funeral in Jerusalem. Clinton brokered a peace deal with Perez and the Palestinians in the 1990s. Both sides won a Nobel Peace Prize the following year.
He lived 93 years in a state of constant wonder.
Perez was a man many considered a champion of peace. He was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Obama in 2012. Speaking at the funeral, Obama said Perez was a man who never lost hope.
The last of the founding generation is now gone. Shimon accomplished enough things in his life for 1,000 men.
Obama pleaded to the next generation to hold on to Perez's beliefs and values. Shimon Perez died Wednesday. He was 93 years old.
Hurricane Matthew continues to strengthen today from its Category 2 status as it swirls through a part of the Caribbean that rarely sees such storms. The hurricane is also headed for a brush with the Colombia-Venezuela border. The storm is expected to turn northward tomorrow and head towards Jamaica, Cuba, and Haiti. Well, the wait is almost over. Big Blue Madness tickets will be handed out tonight.
And they've been through some, cold and rain, right? Hundreds of fans have been camping out outside Memorial Coliseum for days now. Last night, they were treated to free pizza served up by some of the UK players. And even Coach Cal stopped by.
When I was growing up, I would have been right there with you. My dad would have made me camp out to get those tickets.
Tickets will be handed out at 10 o'clock tonight, and Big Blue Madness is on Friday, October 14th, so it's getting there. Well, from basketball, back to football. That's the season we're in right now. The UK team has a huge matchup tomorrow.
They're headed to Tuscaloosa to take on the #1 team in the country, Kentucky and Alabama. They kick off tomorrow night at 7 on ESPN.
All right, tough game. We'll see how it all goes tomorrow.
Right. Well, keep it right here on Mid-Morning. Taking a selfie in the voting booth will no longer get some voters in trouble.
We'll tell you why, and it's in one particular state now that this ruling has come down. We'll tell you about that coming up after Micah's weather.
Well, we know it's going to be on the cool side of things. There's no doubt about that today and off towards your weekend. However, what about the rain chances? All of our plans and events going on. Do we have any chance of rain during those times? I'm going to have that coming up next.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, you saw me out in the weather garden earlier, and boy, does it feel pretty good outside. Now, the rain chances are still back toward the west, and it's one of those mornings that if you are one of those that get chilly pretty easily, you're probably thinking, it does not feel good outside. It's a little chilly. And you know what? It is to some of us because the cloud cover overhead, you got a slight breeze here and there. But even if you don't see the rain, it's still going to be on the cool side of things. The rain will make it even cooler as that rain's trying to nudge in. This is actually the center of the low pressure system. And the way you can notice that is look at the top part of this. That's actually moving toward the north and northwest. And the bottom part, where's it moving to? Toward the east, northeast. So that just shows you there's that spin right there. And what it's going to happen is it's going to throw off some showers off into I-68, or the 68 corridor, that is, Highway 68. So Lebanon, Campbellsville getting in on the mix. You go up towards, say, Springfield. Springfield, you guys look like you're going to be next in line, which is not good news because I know we got a lot of things going on in Springfield. I'm going to talk about that with a graphic coming up in just about 1 minute. But there is the look. We get off toward the afternoon. It still looks like the best chance of rain, which isn't a good chance. Remember, today most of us stay dry. Today we're not really going to see that good of a chance of rain. But the best chance is going to be west of I-75 and a couple of showers here and there with that system trying to make its way through. Off toward the evening hours, look at high school football. We're talking mid to upper 50s for kickoff. Not the end of the game, but kickoff. It's going to be a little bit chilly there heading off toward the evening hours, and only a stray shot at a shower. That's it. Most of us stay dry once again for today and off into the evening. Tomorrow morning, yard sales don't look all that bad. I can't rule out about a 20-30% chance of rain, but for the most part, we're going to stay dry there for tomorrow morning toward the afternoon. Bits and pieces spark up here and there, but obviously not a good chance of rain tomorrow either. All right, let's talk about the Sorghum Festival. That's going on in Springfield. I mentioned that earlier. Today and tomorrow, there is a shower chance. Now, it's just a couple of showers. It's definitely no rain out, definitely no just widespread thunderstorms. It's nothing like that. I would not cancel not going to this festival. I would still go out there. If you do get a shower, get under the pavilion and just let it pass by. It'll only last 30 minutes to an hour at most, and so that's just going to be the case today and tomorrow. I would still take off. Sunday looks really nice to actually finish off the festival at 69 degrees, and that goes for all events, okay? So today and tomorrow, 40% chances of rain, mainly for western zones. That's really the best bet. And then Sunday through next week, guys, looks pretty good. They're in the 70s, and that's average for this time of year, so we'll take that. Looks pretty good.
It does. All right. All right. You're just getting there, right?
That's
the
right.
Next day or so. Thank you.
Well, voters in New Hampshire are now free to snap a selfie with their ballot this November and share it on social media.
The ruling has come down this week. A federal appeals court said that the state's 2014 ballot selfie ban is unconstitutional. Lawmakers argued that pictures of ballots could be used to help in buying votes, but the court dismissed that notion, citing a lack of evidence. So now you can just take your picture in there, in that locality.
Only there. Don't be trying it other places yet. Well, the Super Bowl goes gaga, and Gayle King joins an all-star salute to women in the media.
Suzanne Marquez has your eye on entertainment.
CBS This Morning's co-anchor Gayle King was on the red carpet in New York last night for the Women's Media Center's 2016 awards ceremony. King and host Sally Field helped honor 5 women, including actress Salma Hayek and TV funny lady Samantha Bee.
I like any time you can come to an event like this. It just sort of reaffirms what we do and how we do it.
Football fans have another reason to go gaga while watching America's best teams face off during Super Bowl 51. The NFL and Pepsi say Lady Gaga will headline this February's Super Bowl halftime show in Houston. Gaga belted out the national anthem for Super Bowl 50 in California. Here at Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank, the stars walked the blue carpet for an all-star fashion gala to benefit Autism Speaks. Entertainment Tonight's Kevin Frazier and actress Molly Sims hosted the show called La Vie en Bleu.
This is just another step in trying to work towards solving the autism problem and all these kids on the spectrum, out there in this country.
The show featured stars including Vivica A. Fox and Eve modeling gowns for the auction.
I assure you, we are coming.
And Samuel L. Jackson plays a supernatural bad guy in the new fantasy film Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. The Tim Burton film opens today. And that's your Eye on Entertainment. Suzanne Marquez, CBS News, Burbank, California.
All right, I just saw him walking in. He's here. His comedy is real, it's funny, and audiences around the country just love it.
Comedian James Gregory next on WKYT.
As we head to break, tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $30 million. Tomorrow night's Powerball jackpot is $70 million. We'll be right back on Mid-Morning. Welcome back in. Good to have you here at Mid-Morning on WKYT. Storytelling at its best, and you can hear it at Comedy Off-Broadway starting tonight.
What a great idea for the weekend. We're happy to have comedian James Gregory here in our studio. He's at Comedy Off-Broadway. Thanks for stopping by.
It's good to be here. It's good to be here when it's not Derby week.
Right.
You always come Derby week.
Yes.
Plus this time of year, too.
Yeah.
Once a year, you know.
So you're not competing with a horse.
I'm not competing with a horse.
Right.
That's right.
Well, you said, you came up from Georgia and bought lottery tickets
Yeah, I
all
live in
along,
Georgia.
all the way? Yeah.
So coming to Lexington yesterday, I got up early. I stopped and got tickets, Powerball tickets, in Georgia, Tennessee, and Kentucky.
Yeah.
Usually, I get tickets just in one particular state.
Yeah.
But since I haven't won the jackpot lately, I said, this is my new strategy, to spread the wealth, So.
Have you ever won something that was semi-big in doing all this?
No, $2 or $3.
Oh. But you still keep buying.
Matter of fact, I'm so embarrassed, sometimes I don't even cash the tickets up.
Yeah.
It's at least at the same convenience store. Because you go to a convenience store and I buy $10 worth of tickets. So I don't want to turn in a ticket where I win $2.
Yeah.
I don't want the guy to know that I spent $10 for $2.
So when you
Well, don't be too elated about it, at least when
you sort them all out at the Waffle House, or what? Is it? You sort your tickets out at the Waffle House, or where do you go to?
Yeah, I love talking to people about the lottery.
Yeah.
I love talking to people about the lottery now. It's just like, most people won't buy a lottery unless the jackpot gets real high. See, Alabama don't have a lottery at all. They have no lottery. But when the jackpot gets big enough in Georgia, the Alabamians will cross that state line. It bothers me, though, because they don't want to make the trip for $12 million.
Right.
Yeah, really. I've got friends in Birmingham. I talked to them on the phone. I said, "Are you getting lottery tickets this week?" And they go, "I don't know. What's it up to?"
Right.
I said, $12 million. They go, "Nah, hell, I ain't gonna mess with it."
Not gonna mess with
just
that.
$12 million. I just should be here in Jiffy Lube or something.
That's just keep working. Little stuff. Little stuff.
Are you dragging the election into your act this year?
I don't do any politics on the show.
Yeah.
As an old joke I used to say, people would ask me about that. I said, I don't do any political or sexual humor because I keep getting the two confused. We're at that point in our life now where it's about the same, but I will say this, though, and it's not a good thing to say. Our country's in trouble. I think we know that already, so.
There you go.
But it is the greatest place in the world to be. That's what I try to tell people. And it's very important that no matter how bad we think it is, we are living in the best place in the world. I don't want to be anywhere else. I want to be in the United States.
Keep that in mind.
And when you win the lottery, it'll be even better.
Absolutely.
James Gregory, everybody, tonight and tomorrow night at 7:15 and 9:45 at Comedy Off-Broadway.
Can I mention the number? 271-5653.
Okay,
All
number to
right.
call.
And my tour is the Butter and Sugar Tour.
The butter and sugar. There you go. Thank you.
You're a treasure. Good to see you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Keep it right here this mid-morning.
We're going to check in with the Mr. Food Test Kitchen next. James might want to hang around for that. We're back in a moment.
As our salute to Oktoberfest wraps up, today we've got a traditional German dessert that is known as Bienenstich, which in English translates to bee sting. Legend has it that it got its name when the baker who created this honey glazed cake was stung by a bee that was attracted to its sweetness. And once you try it, you'll realize that bees aren't the only ones that are attracted to it. We start off by beating together some butter and sugar. Once it's creamy, we add in some honey, a couple of eggs, and a bit of vanilla. Now we gradually add in our dry ingredients and some milk until the batter is nice and smooth. This goes into a springform pan that we coated with cooking spray and lined with wax paper. We sprinkle it with a little flour and pour on a glaze that we made by simmering some butter, honey, vanilla, and almonds. After it bakes and cools, we'll cut it in half and fill it with a creamy custard that brings this all together. Just one whiff, and there's no wonder that it attracts bees, as well as anyone else who gets a peek at it. And talk about deliciously different. To get the easy step-by-step recipe, all you have to do is go to our website and look for bee sting cake, and you'll see what all the buzz is about. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a buzzworthy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Okay, and you can get that recipe at WKYT.com. You haven't been able to stay out of some cake that's been around here today.
I love it. No, it was sent to us.
Oh,
I
it was
didn't
sent
make
to
it.
us.
I would love to have taken credit for that. It was great.
It was good, that's for sure. All right, so we're looking outside, a few showers today and tomorrow, better on Sunday.
All right. Thank you for joining us for Mid-Morning. We'll see you back here at noon.
See you then.